It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. You, a true chosen one, have been moving through life under the weight of a hidden shadow, an invisible curse that followed you through your hardest times, limiting your opportunities and testing your spirit. Without even realizing it, you've taken the right steps, lifted the right burdens, and shattered a long-standing barrier that once held you back. That veil of restriction has fallen, and the cosmic forces that watched your struggle have recognized this victory, decreeing that your overdue blessings cannot be withheld any longer. If the idea that you unknowingly broke a curse resonates even slightly in your soul, please like this video, subscribe, and comment 77-foot to show that you're ready to embrace the rewards the universe is prepared to unleash in your life. Chapter 1. A Dark Cloud. You never saw from childhood up to now. You may have felt a cloud following you, subtle but persistent. Maybe you labeled it as bad luck, or told yourself you were just one of those people who always face difficulties where others seem to glide. It wasn't an outright disaster every time, yet recurring patterns of near success turned into abrupt failures, or promising relationships ended just when they showed the most potential. Over time, these events embedded a nagging sense that something was working against you, yet you carried on, ignoring the suspicion. After all, it's easy to rationalize hardships. You told yourself life is simply hard for everyone. You convinced yourself that you had to work twice as hard to earn half as much, that it was normal to feel drained every step of the way. You may have even doubted your ability to change anything, so you soldiered on, determined or resigned, depending on your day's mood. But beneath the surface, a deeper truth whispered, "This can't be all there is," and that whisper wouldn't leave you alone. Maybe it appeared in moments of clarity, a dream you had where you felt utterly free, or a conversation with a friend that resonated so strongly it lingered in your mind. Sometimes you looked at the everyday struggles and thought, "I'm capable of more. I know it." Yet something intangible kept clipping your wings. That intangible was the curse you never named. Curse might sound dramatic or superstitious, but think of it as an energetic pattern, a thread weaving through your life that attracted repetitive challenges. You didn't see it plainly because it was woven into your reality from the start. Everyone around you might have hinted it was just your fate, or that some families are unlucky, or that certain people never rise above their station. With each repetition, that pattern tightened, making it harder for you to catch your breath. But curses, whether they come from generational traumas, toxic beliefs, or energies cast your way, can be undone. And in your relentless quest to improve your life, to keep your faith despite relentless stumbling blocks, you took steps that unraveled that dark thread, possibly through forgiveness or an act of radical self-love, or standing up for yourself in a way you never had before. You performed the right spiritual or emotional action, and the curse broke. And in the quiet after, that whisper inside you started shifting. From something's wrong to something feels lighter. You might not have recognized it as a breaking, but the impact is real, and you're about to see it more clearly than ever before. Chapter 2. The moment it all shifted. There's usually a definitive turning point, even if it seems small at the time. Maybe it was a single conversation where you finally spoke your truth without fear of repercussions, or you decided not to keep fueling a toxic relationship and walked away for good. Perhaps you felt a sudden surge of courage, setting new boundaries that once seemed impossible. These moments can feel anticlimactic or overshadowed by the emotions of the day, yet they serve as catalysts that realign your energy. At the time, you might have just been trying to survive or salvage your peace of mind. You never labeled it as breaking a curse, but looking back, you can recall that after that particular event or choice, something shifted. That sense of oppressive heaviness started to lift, replaced by a cautious optimism. It was as if a door in your life's corridor finally clicked open, granting you access to a space you thought forever locked. Others might not have noticed anything special. To them, it might have been you simply standing up for yourself or seizing a modest opportunity. Moment of resolve, not the revelation you felt inside, but you knew in your heart that you crossed some invisible boundary. You sensed a quiet hush in your spirit, the hush that signals a powerful transition. Perhaps you doubted your perception, reminding yourself that ephemeral feelings sometimes fade. Yet this time, the hush lingered. What you did in that moment was reclaim a piece of yourself that had been lost or buried under layers of doubt, fear, or even generational conditioning. By reclaiming that piece, you undermine the very foundation of the curse. Those negative energies, patterns, or beliefs had locked onto your unhealed wounds. The instant you healed one of those core wounds, the curse lost its anchor. Bit by bit, it began to unravel, though you might not have realized the magnitude of what was occurring. With the curse weakened, you might have experienced fresh perspectives, like noticing good fortune in small pockets. Maybe your finances stabilized, or you received a gesture of kindness from an unexpected source. Even subtle changes, like improved sleep or a spontaneous uplift in mood, signaled the shift. Whether or not you trusted these signs, they pointed to the same truth. You were no longer weighed down by that old unseen burden. And as your spirit grew lighter, the universe watched, ready to deliver the kind of blessings you'd long been denied. Chapter 3. Why the universe must reward you. Immediately, one might wonder, why must the universe reward me right away? Couldn't good things come gradually? The truth is, after enduring a prolonged restrictive energy, the moment you break free, there's a kind of cosmic accounting that happens. It's akin to releasing a dam that's been holding back a vast reservoir of water. Once the barrier falls, the stored force doesn't trickle out. It rushes forth. For so long, you poured your heart into efforts that never fully bore fruit. The curse acted like a filter, letting only partial blessings through. You'd take 2 steps forward only to be dragged 1 step back. But during that time, the seeds you sowed, the positive actions you took, and the good intentions you maintained were piling up in the background. Now freed from the curse's constraints, all that pent-up positivity surges into your life. This isn't just a matter of spiritual justice, though certainly it can feel like karmic balance. It's also practical. You cultivated resilience, empathy, and a wealth of lessons that make you ripe for opportunities. Whenever a door opens, be it a job offer, a relationship, or a creative venture, you're more prepared to excel than someone who didn't go through the same trials. So the universe isn't handing out random favors. It's aligning resources with the readiness you've developed. In essence, you receive not because you're lucky, but because you're equipped to handle and multiply what's given. Additionally, cosmic energies recognize that after a soul has endured extensive adversity, a period of rapid restoration helps reaffirm hope. This swift inflow of goodness acts as a healing balm for your spirit, ensuring you don't linger in bitterness or exhaustion. Instead, the immediate reward becomes a bridge to a renewed sense of wonder and faith in life's potential. Without this, you risk sliding back into the old despair, questioning whether anything truly shifted at all. People around you might marvel at your sudden turn of fortune. It may look abrupt or undeserved to them, but they're seeing only the surface. They didn't witness the quiet nights you spent wrestling with your own doubts, or the persistent faith you held when every sign told you to give up. The universe, however, saw it all, and cosmic laws built on an equilibrium that ensures genuine effort and virtue eventually get recognized. So as these blessings start manifesting, let yourself receive them without guilt or hesitation. You earned them. Every tear, every hard decision, and every courageous step culminated in this moment. The only catch is you must remain open, not questioning whether you deserve them. Understand the natural consequence of your struggle and the victory you achieved without even realizing it. Welcome them graciously. Let them uplift your spirit and use them to amplify the light you're meant to share with this world. Chapter 4. Signs that freedom is here. Now that the curse you never realized you'd been laboring under has dissolved, you may begin to notice certain signs that liberation has, in fact, arrived. For one, issues that used to plague you on a daily basis suddenly solve themselves or require minimal effort to fix. You might find that tasks you dreaded, like dealing with paperwork, Or difficult coworkers become smoother and less fraught. Where tension once reigned, a sense of calm or even playful ease creeps in. Relationships also offer telling clues. Some people who benefited from your suppressed state may drift away as they sense your newfound independence. Others who see your growing light might be drawn closer. You may hear unsolicited compliments that touch on qualities you've never been applauded for before. And whereas conversations once felt laborious, you might find yourself in fluid, affirming dialogues that mirror your personal transformation. Even your body could show signs of this release. You might sleep more soundly or find your appetite balanced rather than influenced by stress. You could awaken with more energy, noticing a readiness to step into your day rather than the old reluctance. Physical ailments or tensions that flared under stress might gradually ease. It's not that all your aches vanish overnight, but you recognize a steady improvement that lines up eerily well with the mental and emotional lightening you're feeling. Synchronicities also take on a new flavor. You might encounter repeated number patterns, run into old friends just when you think of them, or get perfect timing on small tasks, like finding an item on sale exactly when you need it. These are subtle winks from the universe, affirming that you're aligned with the smoother current. Whereas before you were swimming upstream, now you're gliding with the flow, and everything around you adjusts accordingly. One of the biggest signals is that sense of inner peace when you think about your future. Even if it's unclear, you're not as anxious. You carry a calm conviction that obstacles will be met with the same strength you mustered in your darkest days. After all, if you inadvertently shattered a long-standing curse, what else can you accomplish with your eyes open and your will set? That sense of positivity isn't naive optimism. It's a well-founded confidence in your capacity to handle whatever rises. Chapter 5. Stepping into the rewards without guilt. As the universe begins to shower you with the rewards you've inadvertently earned by shattering that hidden curse, it's crucial to accept them without guilt. Many individuals, especially those with generous hearts, tend to question their worthiness. They wonder if they're taking more than their share, or if they're somehow snatching blessings that belong to someone else. It's an illusion. When you break free from oppression, whether self-imposed or external, part of your journey is to embrace the abundance that was always meant to be yours. Consider it like finally receiving back pay for a job you've done tirelessly under harsh conditions. Would you feel guilty accepting the full wage you deserved? Likely not. The same principle applies to the cosmic scale. You devoted yourself to growth and endurance through countless trials. Now that the blockade is lifted, every missed opportunity, every time you gave love but never received it, every sacrifice you made without seeing immediate fruits, culminates in this flow of blessings. Imagine a farmer toiling to sow seeds in rough soil. For a while, the harvest is meager because the land was not yielding. Then something changes. The climate adjusts, or the soil's fertility is restored. Suddenly, the harvest is bountiful. The farmer doesn't question whether to keep the crops. They rejoice, for they labored long enough in lean times. This is how you should view your windfall of gifts. They belong to you because you've tilled your inner fields and removed the weeds of negativity. The soil is finally fertile, so accept the harvest wholeheartedly. Moreover, your receiving doesn't deprive anyone else. The cosmic warehouse of blessings is not finite or zero-sum. One person's abundance doesn't block another's from receiving. Actually, your acceptance can inspire others to understand that they too can break curses and invite rewards into their lives. When you display the courage to step into your rightful blessings, you illuminate a path for those still doubting their own worth. Seeing you thrive might be the spark they need to open themselves to similar breakthroughs. So let the generosity flow. Let your sense of gratitude anchor your heart, reminding you that each kindness, opportunity, or material gain is part of a rebalancing. Feel free to share your joy with those you trust, to pay it forward as you see fit, but do not under any circumstances shrink back in embarrassment or apprehension about receiving too much. For a chosen one who has traversed shadowy valleys, there's no such thing as too much redemption or redemption that comes too quickly. The universe never shortchanges. It bestows exactly what you're prepared to hold. And you, having triumphed over a curse you didn't even know burdened you, are prepared to hold an awful lot. Chapter 6. Watching others react and taking the lead. As your fortune changes in extraordinary ways, expect varying reactions from those around you. Some will genuinely celebrate, seeing your improved circumstances as validation of the resilience they always admired in you. They'll be the ones cheering you on, feeling uplifted by your success. But not everyone is comfortable witnessing someone else's windfall, especially if they've grown used to you being stuck or believe life is inherently unjust. They might project doubts or resentments, even snide comments disguised as jokes. It can be disheartening when close acquaintances react with negativity. Yet remember, they're grappling with their own unhealed wounds, triggered by seeing you break out of what they still feel trapped in. Instead of letting their reactions dampen your joy, view them with compassion. There may come a time when, having watched you rise, they realize you're a testament to what's possible for anyone willing to do the inner work. Sometimes your triumph becomes an unspoken permission slip for others to search for their own breakthroughs. As for you, stepping into this new phase carries a kind of leadership role. Whether you want it or not, people notice the shift in your aura, your ability to flow with life rather than wrestle it. They'll approach you for advice or to share their own burdens, hoping you've gained wisdom that might be their ticket to freedom. It's up to you how deeply you engage. But understand that your personal victory has a ripple effect that extends well beyond your immediate life. By simply existing in this renewed state, you become a living example that curses, energetic, ancestral, or self-imposed, can be shattered. At times, you may hesitate to stand fully in your leadership. After all, being looked up to can feel like a responsibility you didn't sign up for. But realize that leadership doesn't mean you have all the answers. It simply means you're willing to share your experience of turning adversity into insight. Even a small conversation about how you overcame an emotional block could plant a seed in someone else's journey. That's enough to tip the scales for them in moments of decision or despair. If you find yourself growing weary of others' expectations, anchor back into gratitude. Remember how it felt to be lost in the cycle of frustration, unaware of the hidden energies driving you down. Now that you've broken free, you have the vantage point to empathize with those still stuck. Embrace your blessings, but let them serve as a foundation from which you can encourage others. The more you give from a place of genuine compassion, the more your abundance feels purposeful rather than random. And that sense of purpose transforms fleeting wealth or good luck into a sustainable legacy. Chapter 7. Letting the story continue. Reaching this moment, realizing you have silently dismantled a generational curse and now stand beneath an open sky of universal grace, can feel like an end credit. You might expect trumpets, a fade out, or at least a cosmic mission accomplished. Yet the deeper truth is that every ending is only a doorway. Life immediately begins composing its next verse, weaving fresh trials and luminous blessings into the tapestry of your days. The difference now is your posture. You stride forward lighter, unburdened by the shadow that once weighed every footfall. Being a chosen one has never been about summiting one singular peak and planting a victory flag. It's more like tracking a ridgeline that reveals new vistas each time you press the rise. Break one chain, and you free the muscle to swing a heavier sword. Quiet one demon, and your ears attune to subtler whispers worth challenging next. You may now feel invitations that were impossible to hear before. Refine dormant talents, mentor others wrestling their own invisible bondages, or explore imaginative horizons. Writing that book, founding that initiative, traveling that route etched on a vision board for years. The universe indeed stands eager to reward you, but blessings are less like metals and more like seeds. Mishandle them and they shrivel. Tend them and they multiply into orchards that feed crowds you'll never meet. Stewardship becomes the key word. Newfound clarity could tempt you toward complacency. Yet real mastery asks, how can I circulate this abundance so it outlives me? Maybe you dedicate a slice of earnings to scholarships, donate hours to a startup nonprofit, or simply model integrity so fiercely that colleagues start mirroring it back. You also notice life syllabus shifting from remedial coursework to advanced Seminars, situations that once triggered spirals now feel like pop quizzes you finish before the clock starts. Instead of panicking when plans derail, you ask, what is this detour teaching me that the highway couldn't? That curiosity transmutes setbacks into scavenger hunts for wisdom. Some lessons will still sting. Betrayals, disappointments, dry seasons, but none will find you defenseless. Having tasted freedom, you are quicker to sense the flavor of bondage. The moment envy, fear, or gloom nips at your ankles, you tighten boundaries, revisit rituals, and refuse admission to anything that smells like an old chain. Daily life therefore becomes equal parts celebration and vigilance. You might anchor each morning with a gratitude scan, 3 specific mercies from yesterday, and end each night with a 2-minute audit. Did today's choices align with the liberated version of me? If not, you revise tomorrow's strategy without self-scoring. Such gentle checkpoints keep destiny on course without choking spontaneity. And spontaneity thrives now. Road trips planned at breakfast, a violin lesson booked on a whim, stargazing at midnight because the sky looks freshly laundered. Relationships transform too. Some companions who only recognize you by your shackles will drift, confused by your new resonance. Bless them silently and let them sail elsewhere. Empty harbors make space for vessels carrying richer cargo. New allies will arrive. People whose eyes light when you describe your vision, whose laughter harmonizes with your own cadence. Together you'll trade maps, pull resources, and build ladders to platforms none of you could reach alone. Yet humility remains essential. Breaking a curse doesn't grant immunity from pride. Recall the maze you wandered when the burden was unseen, how isolation felt like exile, how a single encouraging word tasted like bread to a starved soul. Keep that memory tender. It will remind you to offer water to travelers still sliding through their deserts. Perhaps you'll share your blueprint in a podcast, pen a memoir, or mentor a teen who sees no exit from the narrative assigned at birth. Your story's power multiplies when it becomes a bridge. Simultaneously, joy stops waiting for milestones and starts blooming in ordinary cracks. You'll find it in the way sunlight paints your kitchen tiles, in the scent of rain hitting hot asphalt, and in random playlists that pair perfectly with traffic lights. Curses distort perception, freedom recalibrates it, allowing small delights to register at full wattage. Financial stewardship evolves as well. Money once siphoned away by crises or self-soothing splurges now obeys your blueprint. Emergency fund, investment account, generosity envelope. You manage them like orchestral sections, each playing its part in your life symphony. Even spending on pleasure gains intention. A solo retreat to write chapter 1 of the book idea, a master class to stretch your craft, a celebration dinner with friends who helped pry off chains. Every dollar becomes a vote for the person you're still becoming. Of course, destiny will keep tossing curveballs, economic dips, health scares, unexpected pivots. Yet you meet them equipped with a backpack of proven tools, discipline, intuition, boundaries, resilience, self-compassion. You've tested them in dark caves. They won't fail you in open fields. So here you stand in a hallway, not a cul-de-sac. The curse is shattered. The blessings reservoir casks with pressure, ready to flood your acreage with opportunity. You taste a charged air, like ozone before a summer storm, whispering your name through wind chimes of possibility. The narrative doesn't close here. It opens into a sequel. There will be plot twists, new antagonists, fresh quests, yet you stride forward, arm light, heart right, stride syncing with a universe that now feels more ally than adversary. Let the story continue, unedited, unsilenced, unfolding in real time. And when future pages grow heavy, remember this chapter. Proof that unseen burdens can snap without fanfare, and that once they do, no shadow can ever quite dim the light you learn to radiate.